Hey, greetings, guys. Greetings. You know who this is, your girl, kind of from Passion for Fitness. Hoping all is well with you and your mind, body, and spirit. I'm stopping by because something that has been always something I notice in my industry and training people is trauma. Trauma. That's one thing that we always all have in common. It may happen in our childhood, adulthood, but we all will experience some type of trauma or loss of a loved one, or something that really devastates or shake our world at one season or one time in our life. And that's something that we all share in common. But what we need to really start focusing on, and what I have noticed training people, is that when we don't deal with this trauma or the loss of a loved one and unpack it, it can manifest in so many other ways. And as a trainer, I am so many times surprised at how it manifests in people's lives when it comes to them overeating, not taking care of themselves physically, mentally, or spiritually, because sometimes they don't even feel like they're worth even taking care of themselves because somewhere in their life that they've been told they're not worthy of this. Now, you may not have experienced this, and I pray to God that you haven't, but we all have experienced something that rocked our world. And the best thing I have ever done for myself is unpack what make Connie Connie, what makes me think the way I think, what makes me act the way I act in certain situations. It all stems from somewhere. And if we just continue to go through life and have a bad attitude or have anger issues and don't try to unpack that and desire to be better, not perfect, but better, oh, we're eliminating so much positive things that can happen to our lives and blessings. So, as a trainer, as I come across so many different personalities and people of all levels, all genders, all physical capabilities, one thing I find too is that so many times they have to come into the studio and just vent. And sometimes it can get to the point it gets very personal and very deep. And I thank God for allowing me to be that person that they feel that comfortable to talk to and know it's no judgment and it goes nowhere but between us. But what I begin to find is that a lot of things we vent about, but after we vent, we don't try to unpack it and we don't try to understand it. In order to do that, we have to unpack it, try to understand it the best that we can, and then it won't impact our day-to-day life so much. So whatever thing that you may be have went through for trauma as a child, from sexual abuse, physical abuse, or being told that you're not worthy, or even as an adult, you in relationships that tells you you're not worthy and you feel less than, and these type of things, I want you to try to unpack that and unpack that. It will make your life so much more freeing. So much more freeing. So get help. Don't think you're alone. Whatever you're going through, I promise you, there's someone else out there going through the same thing. And the worst thing can happen is that you get yourself isolated and think you're the only one going through it. Your freedom is when you speak your truth. Your freedom when you're being honest with yourself. And your freedom comes when you desire to unpack that baggage, dive into it, and come with some resolutions, and just not venting about it, but come to some resolutions how to make your life the life in which God intended us to have, and that's a joyful life. Despite of what we went through, God has given us the spirit to endure and be restored and keep going. We just built that way. It's in our DNA. But you have to be around a village or a situation or a person who keeps that, reminding you of that. Because your freedom lies when you open up that cage and fly out and no longer let your trauma or your previous experience define who you are. And understand that you're worthy, so worthy for so much more. I'll leave you guys with that because I had to learn that myself. Trust me, I did. And until next time,